Hey guys, my name's Colin and this is my review of the Nike Pegasus Trail 4. So normally I like to get 100 kilometers on my sneakers before I do a review, but I think I have a pretty good idea of what this shoe is like just after one run. I've been a fan of the Pegasus Trail versions. The Pegasus 36 was one of my favorite trail runners ever. This is about my fourth pair. I went through a bunch of these. I did run in the Pegasus Trail 2 Gore-Tex, as you can see here, and I've also ran in the Pegasus Trail 3s, which I also really like. I also find that there is a lot of similarities between the Trail 4 and Trail 3, but there are some major improvements on the Trail 4. But let's get right into that with the review, and we'll start things off with the fit. So these fit true to size. I'm a size 10.5 in almost all my sneakers and all my Nike sneakers. This is a size 10.5 and it fits great. Just like a lot of the Nike trail runners, the toe box is a little bit roomier than some of their road sneakers. And on my first run, I did have to stop and adjust the laces here around the midfoot just so I would get a better locked in heel. But once I got that heel locked in, the overall fit was great and super comfortable. So next up is the traction. So traction on Nike trail runners has been an issue with almost all iterations and versions of their Nike trail lineup, but I do feel like they've improved quite a bit here on the Nike Pegasus Trail 4, especially compared to the last two versions. As you can see here, this is actually a very similar pattern to the Pegasus 39 road version, but with an increased amount of lug depth. And compared to the old model, the lug depth is quite significantly better and the rubber seems to be grippier. The run I did take these on was really wet and muddy. These were sticking pretty good in those conditions. I was actually pleasantly surprised because at this point I'm expecting Nike trail runners just to slip out in a lot of wet conditions. And although these did stick pretty good in those wet conditions, I did find, as you can even see here, that because of these lugs being so close together, there was times where a lot of stuff and mud or rocks got stuck in between these lugs. But again, I was taking these on a little more gnarly terrain than I think these are meant to be used for. This is classified as more of a road to trail shoe, but again, compared to last year's version and the prior version, the Pegasus Trail 2, the traction has improved dramatically. So next up is the cushion. So the cushion in the Peg Trail 4s is just a big slab of full-length React foam, and overall it feels almost identical underfoot in my opinion to the prior two models. I even put one shoe on one foot and one shoe on the other foot just to compare, and the underfoot feeling was identical. But that's not a bad thing. The Pegasus Trail 3 and 2 were super comfortable, super soft underfoot feeling. It was a big enough stack where you felt fairly protected underfoot. The only major difference between the midsole of the Trail 4 and 3s is they cut the fat a little bit on the Pegasus Trail 4. So it's a little less wide in the forefoot, but they got rid of a little bit of weight at the same time. And the same as the heel, where you had a little wider heel platform, it slimmed down a bit in the Pegasus Trail 4. And that hasn't taken away from the comfort at all. It's only made the shoe lighter, so it was definitely a good thing. So next up is the upper. So the upper on the Pegasus Trail 4 is super comfortable. It's like a double layered mesh here throughout most of the upper. And you have a little classic pull tab that I find works a lot better than the prior version's pull tab. The tongue is still gusseted here, just like the prior model. They did add some fly wire back into the lace loops, similar to the Pegasus 36 trail. But again, the upper of the Peg Trail 3 and Peg Trail 4 are very similar. It feels like the same material, which is still a good thing. They're both super comfortable. They did minimize a little bit of the protection in the toe here, maybe to make it a little bit lighter, but there was just a tad more protection around your toe box with the prior version. So next up is the weight, and these are coming in quite a bit lighter than the prior model, and I'm pretty sure almost a full ounce lighter, actually around 9.5 ounces for a men's size 9. And it's definitely noticeable even in hand and especially on foot. Supposedly they're closer in weight to the 36, but the 36 still feels a little bit lighter. And next up is the drop. I think this is a 9mm drop, but when I put these both on at the same time, again, they feel identical in drops. And the final verdict on the Pegasus Trail 4. So this is a really great road to trail option. They've improved the traction, they've made the shoe lighter, but overall this is so similar to the prior version that I'm just like not that excited about it. I think it's good that Nike kind of played it safe with this shoe. There's really nothing fancy about this shoe. It's just going to get the job done for people who want that road to trail option. I still gotta say the Pegasus 36 Trail is still my favorite Nike trail runner. I was hoping that they'd stick maybe a Zoom Air unit in the forefoot of the Pegasus Trail 4s, just because I love that cushion setup so much. But again, why mess with a good thing when you have such a nice soft cushion setup with the full length React? But overall, very, very solid shoe. It's just one that I'm probably not gonna wear much because I have a few other shoes that I'm a little more interested in reviewing. And that's about it, guys. That's my quick review of the Nike Pegasus Trail 4. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.